Imagine a world where saving endangered species relies on flawed data. It sounds unbelievable, right? But what if I told you that the very technology designed to protect wildlife might actually lead us astray? Many people see AI-driven wildlife conservation as a foolproof solution for safeguarding our planet's most vulnerable animals. However, there's a hidden complexity that often goes unnoticed, which could significantly impact these efforts. You might view AI as unbiased, but what happens when bias sneaks in? These biases can distort data, misrepresenting the needs of wildlife. Have you ever considered how the data we collect shapes the stories we tell? Imagine a conservationist using this data to decide where to allocate resources. They trust the numbers, but what if those figures reflect a limited perspective? Entire ecosystems might be overlooked or, worse, mismanaged entirely. This isn't just hypothetical. Consider a wildlife reserve prioritizing certain species based on trends while other equally endangered animals fade into the background. This is happening right now, and we're just beginning to grasp the extent of the issue. Our advanced tools often rely on historical data that carries the weight of past biases: cultural, economic, and geographical. These biases seep into AI algorithms, creating a skewed view of what conservation should look like. Now, think about the consequences. Decisions based on flawed data can lead to misguided strategies, with resources allocated to projects that don't address the most urgent needs of wildlife. Can you see how this could perpetuate problems instead of solving them? As urgency grows, the stakes become clear. We're not just endangering individual species, we're threatening the entire ecological balance. The stakes are incredibly high, and time is running out. But here's the twist: awareness is the first step toward change. By recognizing these biases, conservationists can start adjusting their methods. This means diversifying data sources and ensuring that every voice and ecosystem is heard. The solution lies in collaboration, not just technology. By gathering a broader range of perspectives, we can tell more complete stories about our wildlife. This not only deepens our understanding but also leads to more effective conservation strategies. As we wrap up this chapter, think about your role in this narrative. It's easy to feel powerless in the face of big data, but remember, even the smallest voices can make a difference. Let's stay curious, challenge the status quo, and advocate for a future where every creature has a chance to thrive. If you found this story compelling, take a moment to reflect on how you can contribute to the conversation. Your involvement could be the spark that ignites real change. Did you know that a simple bias in data can alter the fate of an entire species? Imagine relying on statistics to help save wildlife, only to discover those figures were misleading. When we think about wildlife conservation, we often picture heroic efforts and cutting-edge technology, but there's a darker side hidden within the data we depend on. Many don't realize that bias can creep into these narratives, shaping how we perceive and respond to conservation initiatives. What's even more concerning is that this bias frequently goes unnoticed. It's not just about flawed algorithms, it's about the human choices that influence them. How often do we truly question the data presented to us? Picture a team of researchers excited about a new study showing a decline in elephant populations. They publish their findings and suddenly donations flood in, saving countless elephants. But what if those numbers were misleading? What if they missed certain habitats? Those same figures can lead to misdirected efforts, with resources focused on one area while completely overlooking another. putting entire populations at risk. Can you imagine being part of a campaign only to find out your efforts were based on incomplete information? Think about your favorite wildlife documentary. The visuals are stunning, but is the story accurate? Are we presented with a narrative that emphasizes heroism while glossing over the complexities? Often, the stories we consume are polished, omitting the messy yet crucial details. Now, let's consider the implications. As data storytelling shapes public opinion and funding, the stakes are incredibly high. If we fail to recognize bias, we risk perpetuating ineffective strategies that could endanger wildlife instead of protecting it. So, what can we do? It starts with awareness. By questioning the data we encounter and demanding transparency, we can advocate for better practices. We need to ensure that conservation efforts are based on a complete picture, not just a biased snapshot. As we reflect on this issue, remember that data isn't just numbers, it's a story waiting to be told. And that story can either save or doom entire ecosystems. The next time you hear about a conservation success, ask yourself what's really happening beneath the surface. Your curiosity could uncover a more truthful narrative in wildlife conservation. Now, let's challenge ourselves to dig deeper. Imagine a world where data tells a story, but that story is twisted by hidden influences. What if the numbers you trust are concealing crucial truths? Right now, a quiet crisis is unfolding in wildlife conservation. The data we rely on, often powered by AI, is riddled with biases that many overlook. This issue could reshape our understanding of the ecosystems we strive to protect. Have you ever considered what happens when AI analyzes wildlife data? It sounds efficient, but here's the catch: those algorithms are only as good as the data they process. If that data is biased, the consequences can be dire. Picture a conservation initiative built on flawed data leading to misguided policies. The animals suffer, and we remain blissfully unaware. Think back to a time when you believed a statistic that turned out to be misleading. It's unsettling, isn't it? In wildlife conservation, this isn't just a minor issue, it's a life-and-death matter for countless species. Let's dive deeper. Imagine a remote forest that's home to endangered species. Conservationists are using